Sailor Earth Ernest here, and today I'm going to talk about this one thing that. Alright, so some of you folks out there might know if my voice still doesn't come out the way it is, I don't know why. So, anyway, alright, so yesterday my voice was weird, and some of you folks might think, oh, well, he's got, you know what, COVID-19, COVID-20. No, I don't got neither of those, of the two. Don't got the first or the offshoot of the first. Hell, there's probably other offshoots of it too. But I don't have it. Alright? Because COVID-19, 9 between, or Liz COVID-20 had its own shows. Mostly would start with a shortness of, well, actually hard breathing. So it would be a hard breathing and hard getting your breath. Then it would be your body heat. And also there would be coughing. A lot of coughing. Which none of that actually seems to be it. Was every time I go out, I always got my layer wear on. My hand wear on, well. And I'm always 6 feet away from folks when I do. So there is no way that I would have gotten it from anyone like that, since I don't have it. But a lot of folks might believe that, you know. Yeah, a lot of folks out there might believe it's the only illness out there right now that's doing shit besides the other ones. So, I'm here to tell you I do not have it. That, yeah. But that would be a really short film. So, why don't we just talk about a little bit what I know about it? Now, no one, as of right now, there's still more askings than answers to it. But some folks say that Lucifer made it start over in China, and somehow, some way, this illness, Lucifer made it go from man to woman, and some folks believe that it had to do either with how some folks live over there. Some folks believe it was some kind of Wisdom House mistake. They were working on something and somehow Lucifer let it get out. Others believe that it had to do with Wildermouth eating. Either way, Lucifer made the illness and it went. So those are the three beliefs right there, or the three thoughts. And there's probably others. There's other folks that believe, oh, that their leadership, their law molt did it. Either way, it's here. Now we'll just say it there. So, how did Lucifer make it go? Well, since no one knew they had the illness, the first folks who got the illness, whoever they were, they somehow coughed or sneezed it on folks who, those folks coughed and sneezed it on them. And keep in mind, there are two kind of folks out there that get the COVID-19 between or COVID-20. There are those who get it and it does nothing to them. Their body fights it and it doesn't do anything to them. They have it, but it's not doing nothing to them. Then there are those who get it and it does something to them. So this kept going on to where everyone who was everyone gave it to everyone. And some folks believe that China kept their mouths shut about it, didn't say nothing, or if they did say something about it, they downplayed how bad it was. And it took about a whole year before Lucifer could get it all over the world, except for Antarctica. But, and by the time anyone knew how bad it was, it had already gotten over the world by that time. Now, that is the saga and tale that everyone from last year to now hears and still hears. But that's all I know. All I know is that after that, all the lands of the world came up with only some ways that they knew how to deal with it. Layerware, which in the greater of times was more of a choosing, but then became, well, some want to say became a law, but if it became a law, it was one of the fastest making laws in every land out there. That every Wintermolt, Wissemolt, and every four-setter out there made into law. If it was a law, then it was probably the fastest made law out there. It was, yeah, I guess. But they're working on making it a law. The only downside is once God undoes the illness that Lucifer made, then you got to drop the law. And it's hard to undo a law once you make a law. So keep in mind that, folks. So, and a lot of folks might think, oh, well, you got ill on Friday and, you know, and oh, and you're on Saturday and your voice was weird. And yeah, well, I'm a beaten of the speech box illness that I've gotten many times before in the past and had many times on my old YouTube fairwaves. So it had nothing to do with this illness that, you know. And a lot of folks say that it's a new illness that Lucifer made. Others believe it started out as a cold, but then Lucifer decided to shift it a bit and make it become its own illness from that. Now, no one truly knows. Yeah, there is a heal for it. They're working on a heal for it. But it's still in the early working offshoot of the heal. And some folks don't know if hope that God makes the heal work. The only other fears anyone has is that Lucifer makes the heal become an illness in itself. Meaning instead of getting ill on the illness, you get ill on the heal. And some folks are frightened that other illnesses that already have a ill will just unput to the tracks. Well, I don't believe that. I believe that if you follow the oversight for how handling and dealing with this illness, then the other illnesses that already have a heal for it won't be a big deal. Because shutdown and lockdowns is not an answer when other illnesses come around. The oversight that you already are doing for this illness, and since those other illnesses already have heals that work, that God made them work, I think as long as you're following the oversight, other illnesses showing up ain't going to be a big deal. Not going to be a big deal. You know, at least that's my thought. And I don't really know as much about it as anyone else. There are probably some who know more about it, ones who have to deal with, have to deal with the making of the healing. Those who have to deal with the ill would probably know more about it than me. But then again, they're working in the dark, so what they learn is something else. So anyway, I just want to say I don't have Crow 9 Between or Crow 20 or whatever the other offshoots of it is, because I'm sure that sadly Lucifer is going to make a bunch of more offshoots of it before it's done. And that God is going to beat all this illness and all the other offshoots. I'm Sailor Earth Ernest. Hope you like this film. Know what I mean?